There's no denying that one of the most asked questions that I've gotten over 39 years is, how do I get a flat belly, or how do I get rid of this? Now look, core exercise will not get rid of belly fat. However, that's a whole nother video. But we do need deep core muscle activation in order to get better ability to do the actual kinds of exercises like strength training, like high intensity interval training, where we can go faster or against more resistance to get results. So this is one of my favorite foundation builders. What you're going to see is not that superficial kind of exercise. You're going to see some deep core stabilizers firing your transversus abdominis, as well as taking you through mobility, stabilization, back extension. So here it is completely, and I'll finish again with a really short response at the end. What we're going to do here is focus on some of the core things that build internally, not externally. So we're going to start with really just focus on range of motion. So we're going to get some movement into the pelvis. Now, this is great if you've been standing, been sitting, been walking, but particularly travel is one of the places where you need this most. And notice what I'm doing. I'm just hollowing through the lower back, and then I'm dropping that lower back down. So it's like the pelvis, my pubic bone is up, my lower back is down, and then the opposite. I'm gonna do just a few more of these. Keep the pressure off of your neck. You may feel more comfortable with your head supported. So whether a pillow or a dishcloth folded up, I'm gonna have you move your feet a little bit further away. So I know you can't see my feet, but what you should see is my toes are up. I can't reach to put my whole foot flat. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. And as I do that, what I'm doing is weaning myself off. My feet can't do any of the pushing. They can't do any of that work. So I'm really getting a little bit more activation of the core muscles. You wanna think about your erector spinae muscle in the back, and then your rectus abdominis in the front. They run all the way up and down. So we really want to activate the lower portion. It's connected, it's not too separate, but it's like pulling the reins on a horse. Pull and then release. And if you can, match your breath. So you exhale and inhale and exhale as you press the lower back down. You can activate that just a little bit better. Now, I want you to take those legs to straight. So that's about 8 to 10 in each. A little bit more as we're talking through it. Good, and here we go. So you're pressing down through the lower back. My legs are out straight, and that means you have no angle of pull or push, no leverage through the feet. So any movement you're causing through the pelvis is happening because you activate your core muscles. Your glutes can't do this. They aren't responsible for this action. So you're driving this down by contracting through the glutes, and it will help you identify muscles that you want to be contracting or bracing all the time, especially when you do weights. Good. Now from here, I want you to come up. We're going to change things a little bit, but what you're going to do is tuck your chin in, please, and then raise up. And I want you to just look down at your shoes. Put your fingers on the mat. You're going to slide forward. And I know this may look to some of you, and you may object because it's a crunch or a sit-up. It's actually not. So what we're doing is maintaining the position of my cervical spine. And I'm actually exhaling as I go forward, and I'm just reaching 2 to 4 inches here on the mat. And I'm only going to do about 8 of these. And then what I'm going to do is take my hands to the top of my knees. And when I do that, I can immediately come up a little bit more. But I want you to pay attention, and if your feet come off the ground, don't do that. So you're adding momentum, and we only want the core, and you should be very aware of those core muscles right now. We're gonna bring the knees up. We're gonna hold them just at a 90-degree angle, and then we go 8 more. And exhale. Breathe out, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm gonna come down. But while my head is down, now I'm resting my neck, I want to make sure I'm pressing my lower back into the floor. So I want you to feel 2 things. So you can actually be here. So look at how I'm here, but I'm not pushing my lower back into the floor. Now watch it. I'm going to push that lower back down. What I did not do is bring the knees in, and I don't want you to do that either. I want you to really feel that lower back coming in because you're pressing it down. And this now is getting a little fatigued. because we've identified those muscles through the range of motion, through that straight-legged sit-up, and now you know where they are. What I want you to do from here is drop one leg and then bring it back up, and drop this leg and bring it back up. And notice my knee stays at 90 degrees, so I'm not flexing this in and out. I'm dropping and then down, so it's quite a ways away from you. And back, and lower, and lift. Now this is work, actually. So there's a lot of bracing going on down here. Very tempting for me to hold my breath, but what I'm doing is deep core activation, and it's the stabilizers, the ones right next to your spine. And if they aren't tight, if you can't fire those and this transverse abdominis that wraps around you like a belt, you can't actually get great progress from any other core exercise you're doing. Good. So watch out for the drift. These knees will want to come in. We're going to leave them right out here, and we're just going to tap and come up, and tap and come up. Good. Now, we want to shoot for 15 of these. You may not be able to do that at first without your lower back coming up. As soon as that lower back comes up and you can't do anymore, you're done. It's okay. But mark that. Say, okay, I could do 8 this time. Next time, maybe it's 9. Maybe then you get to 12 until you get to 15. This is still a very challenging activity. Now, I don't do this every day or all the time. When I had a back problem, I did. When I was focusing on golf, when I was doing a lot of running or marathon training, I was doing much more of this on a regular basis because that spine needs some stability. I'm going to bring the legs down. To open this up, we're going to open up and push into a bridge, which is actually another exercise. So we're going to stay there. We wanted to open that up because that gets tight anyway. But now from here, so one of my faves, you see the line from my shoulders to my hips to my knees. I'm going to have you lift just one leg. So you're just lifting up, but watch what happens. I can just easily slip down. You notice that? So you have to keep this up. You're going to lift and walk it. Just lift and walk it. Check in with me. So the hips still up? Check on you, right? So your hips should still stay right here. And if you have that tailbone pointed toward your knees, your lower back should stay pretty comfortable. If you allow it to arch here, you will feel the pressure here. It tells you I need to straighten that out. Point your pubic bone toward your knees and walk this and up. So again, you have a lot of bracing going on. This is an excellent exercise. And we're bracing, but it's not a boring plank. You're moving it. It's intelligent. And this is what your body does all day. It doesn't just hold still, right? So a plank statically is really only good up until the point you can hold about 30 seconds. And then you should be doing something like this. So what we've done is flip the plank over and then drop down. Nice job. You can release to your lower back. Little circles around the small of your back are always nice. Just do a few in each direction. Okay, so we're going to change the rules again. So I'm going to bring the head up, tucking the chin in first, remember, and then up. And we're going to do a bicycle. Now, if you're newer and you know, it's been a little while, a little weaker, you're going to do this higher because the lower you go, the more stress to the lower back. We just do 10. So I want you to go this way and then turn your back away. And 2, and 3, and 4. I'm not actually holding on. 5, and 6. Rotate that upper body. 7, look back behind you. 8, and 9, and 10. Good, and relax. Again, beautiful. Okay, hold it right here. I want you to bring your legs in. We're going to do a little rotation. So knees can be extended. That would be the hardest because that's a long lever. I'm going to bend them about 90 degrees and you could go a little tighter. I'm going to drop them to the side. But what I want you to notice is see my shoulders down. The other side is just down as well, equally. And I'm not allowing the shoulder behind me back here to come off the floor. And if it has to, then I found this is my range of motion if I would pull my shoulder up after that. So you want a couple pillows stacked here and then work between that. So watch this side. So I'm going to keep this shoulder blade down. And if I can't, so if I have this kind of a lift going on, I'm not getting what I want. I want the rotation in the torso, in the spine. So we're going to drop down to the side We're gonna bring it up. Now watch this one more time, and I'm giving you an alternative if you're reaching fatigue or this just feels like it's too hard. You can go one at a time into this one. Drop down. You can come up one at a time, still gonna get the work. So it's lower and then lift up and then lower and then lift up. Nice work. Lower and up and lower and up. Good. And lower and up. Nice job. Lower and come up. Good. Lower. Lift this one up. Lower down and up. Beautiful. Lower down and up. One more time. Last side. Good. And switch. Nice. Now, we want to do lateral flexion as well. So you can do this several ways. So if you have the ability, have the strength, and you know it, you can come up in a plank and you can be right here. And this could be your side plank doing this. Feeling like, not quite yet, we're gonna fold at the knee. We're gonna come up here and this is your plank, okay? And you can come up, you would still raise that top leg. Little less pressure on the shoulder, depending on what your limiting factor is. This is just a little easier. So if you're all the way up with me, give me 10 and 9 and 8, 7, 6. It's another side plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna flip it. There's always an easy side and then an other side. So don't be too alarmed by that, okay? Raise up, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Drop that down. Now, we haven't done any back extension, and we need to do some because we need back extension probably more than we need anything at all. I'm gonna have you put your head and neck down in alignment. You're gonna raise the opposite arm and leg and then switch. So 10 and up, 9, up, 8, up, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Good. Now we are going to come into a plank, so I want you to come in stabilizing just right here. But remember that I mentioned there's intelligence in terms of planks. So what I'm going to do is move forward a little bit so that you can see my lower body and watch as I take one leg out to the side and the other to the side, trying to maintain the hips low. Another alternative, just a little lift and up. Another alternative that I'll give you here is tap the knees, or tap one and leave the other one there. Those little bitty motions actually make this so much far more valuable than just statically holding. Okay, let me know how that went for you. And let me know you are feeling your core. So I'd love to know how you did. Love to know that you could feel those deep core muscles. And caveat is no exercise is perfect for everybody. Each body is different. So you may have found from limitations, from prior injuries, from certain exercises that perhaps you're looking at but aren't quite sure exactly of the form and the function. It's a little hard to do it with correct technique. Not everything may work for you. Focus on the ones that do work, where you're actually feeling the contraction. You're able to do it safely, pain-free, and complete all the reps. And notice, there's no 100 of anything. There is maybe 8, maybe 10 of each exercise, and then we're moving right on. So you're getting what I call a potluck. You're getting stability, lateral flexion or anti-flexion laterally. You're getting back extension, and you're getting rotation, and all of those so very important to the way we function every day and all day. Love to hear if you felt like your lower core was speaking to you. Don't forget, hit subscribe, and you can hit that bell at the top and click it. You'll be notified when we release a brand new video.